Hello everybody, welcome back to the James Lawrence Alcott channel. Now again, I'm just sitting by the side of the road, but I don't know why, but my life's been a bit crazy over the last few days, and it felt right. After last time, I kind of had a moment with you guys last time talking about the Colombia game, talking about how big it was, how it was a moment for the nation, a moment that the fans needed, a moment that the team needed, a moment that the manager needed, just a moment that England needed. And so I feel like I almost want to keep that superstition going. So that's why I'm sat down here and I can kind of have a one-to-one with you guys. Just first of all, before I get into my thoughts on England versus Sweden, the big game, I just want to say that it's just massive thank you for everyone who subscribed to the channel, who kind of received the reaction video so well with me and my dad. My dad's a huge part of why I love football and continue to love football, and I'm pleased that kind of came through. I'm pleased you kind of understood, and what I love about this channel, actually, having my own thing, is kind of you guys getting to know me a lot better, and that's how I feel about England, that's how I feel about winning, that's how I feel about sport, that's how I feel about QPR, that's how I celebrated when Zamora scored in the last minute of the playoff final. It's the same thing, that's kind of how I work. So I hope that you're seeing that I'm genuine, and I just love football and love talking about it, and the reception and some of the comments have just been really, really nice. So don't want to dwell on it too much, but any of you guys who said something nice, this car on its way. Ooh. I just want to say to you, thank you for that. And the channel's growing, and that's great. And if you love football and you like talking about football, then hit subscribe. Do it right now. I'd love to hit 7,000 by the time England go out, if they ever do go out, which I'm about to talk about now. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bells, and you won't miss out on any stuff that I do in the future, because I've got some decent ideas as well, which I'm excited to do, which I'll reveal soon enough. But let's concentrate on the World Cup for now. So England versus Sweden, here we go. I feel a lot calmer about this one. I feel a hell of a lot calmer, and I think that's dangerous. I think Sweden are dangerous, and when you look into what they're about, I think they've scored more goals than us in the qualifying. They scored 8 more goals than us, 8 more goals than France, who topped their group. So the way that a lot of people talk about Sweden, talk about Berg, and the fact that he's got more shots than any other player without scoring a goal, and the fact that that might mean they're slightly toothless, because a lot of people probably don't know about Berg until this tournament. But they find a way of scoring goals. They scored 3 goals against Mexico. They are dangerous, and they're a team that we should be worried about. And I think the other thing is that I think they totally understand that they are limited, and with that comes a kind of resolve and a structure that they've created over the last couple of years without Zlatan, that's led them to being so hard to beat, so defensively sound. And in terms of the key players for them, Grankvist is the one as a centre-back. The way they're going to defend, I saw it against Italy, I saw it against Germany, I feel like I'm going to see it again in the game against England. We will have possession, we will have total possession, and I'll get onto what changes I would make for the England team in a second. But when it comes to Sweden, their style is very clear, it's very unambitious, but we've seen in this tournament so far that can stifle the opposition, especially when they're a much more attacking side than you. And it's a smart way to play against these better sides, and if you're organised and you don't offer space in behind, then you leave it to the opposition to try and break you down. And a lot of teams now in modern football, they're tough to break down, and I don't expect many goals in this game at all. And the first goal is going to be absolutely everything in this game. I really do believe that. I think more so than Colombia. It's a different game. Colombia looked a little bit lost in how they played with the ball. They were able to get the ball so far up the pitch, but with Falcao and the lack of pace that he had, they were looking for that sort of bit of guile, and they didn't have that because they didn't have James Rodriguez. So with Sweden, they know how they play, but it's quite, I heard someone talking about how this is a derby game almost in international football with us in Sweden, and the amount of times we played them and the way that they play football, and their kind of whole philosophy is very British, and I think that's true. I think there's a lot of truth in that. They'll play 4-4-2. They'll be solid. They'll be rigid. They will not be ambitious. Like I said earlier in the video. But as I say, there's a weird thing with football, is that it's not about possession anymore. It's about the space that you have and that you could exploit. And we will have possession, but we will have a tight area of space that we'll need to try and create something. For England, though, the good side of it is the fact that we've got a hell of a lot of movement. The movement in this England team is better than any England team I have ever seen. There's no doubt about that. And getting onto the lineup for England and what I think it should be, there's two changes that I would like to make. But first of all, I want to talk about my gut feeling for this game and the man who I think is going to step up, and I'm hoping he's going to step up. And I think it's just made for him this game, and that's Raheem Sterling. I think Raheem Sterling he's getting there. The movement that he brings to this team and the help in terms of the build-up play is kind of shadowed by the lack of goals, and he's able to get the ball and turn and pick up the ball in nice areas, but then when he gets going and starts to make runs with the ball, dribbling with the ball, he's been poor. That said, his runs in behind I think are great. I think him coming short as another centre forward who's coming short, that's 4 players that you've got, and that leads to better movement. And you saw when he came off the pitch the difference in how England were able to keep the ball, move the ball up the field. And when you've got 2 banks of 4 that Sweden are gonna put in front of us, then playing in between the lines, that little 5-yard burst, and not having Vardy for this game, and I wouldn't start Vardy regardless, but that person who's going to run in behind is going to be really important. And I think Raheem Sterling, the variety of the movement that he offers, this is the one, this is the game. I've been waiting for it for a while. I've been praying that Raheem Sterling is going to step up, because I think the whole nation is sick of how he was treated and is desperate for him to be a hero and us to allow him to be a hero. And my gut call with the Colombia game was right. I'm really hoping that my gut call this time is right. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I've got a feeling Raheem Sterling is going to get that goal. I think he's going to have a good game, and I think it's suited for him because they've got a big side, and it's going to be down to little 5-yard passes, little bits of movement, little interplay, and I think Raheem Sterling has offered that aspect to England, if not the final goals and the final ball, which has been poor from him. But my gut feeling is that Raheem Sterling is going to show up in this game and be a massive game changer for us. The other change, Danny Rose, I would bring in definitely for Ashley Young. The fact that Young keeps cutting on right hand side. Add to that the injury that he was struggling with. I think Danny Rose deserves an opportunity, and I think it's going to be about width against Sweden, because again they're going to be so solid there that to stretch them, Danny Rose will give another threat to us, and it will help us no end. So Danny Rose has to start for me. The other change that I would make is the fact that I would take Dele Alli out. I think you can use Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and he will play in those tight areas in between the lines, and he's more comfortable in that position. Dele Alli hasn't been playing in that kind of role, hasn't had to come and get it, and I think often he's drifting too wide. He's not being strong enough to stay in that central area, and he struggled in those areas. When he's with Harry Kane, he's facing goal a lot more. He's got Harry Kane close to him, and he can find him. In this team, he's on a little bit more of a slant, and I think he's struggling there with that. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, when he's come on, he's looked good in those areas. His feet are great. He's another big, strong physical presence. I think he'll be comfortable in the ball, picking up the ball in those areas. He can turn and drive with the ball, and I just think he's earned the chance to do it. And I think with the tight areas that we're going to be playing in, as much as you want goal scorers like Dele Alli, you need creativity, and people are going to provide. And I think it's time for Ruben Loftus-Cheek to start this game. So I would do that. I would make that change. So those are my 2 changes. I think it's time for Raheem Sterling. That's the main thing to take from this game. Harry Kane, you know what you're going to get with him, and I hope he scores one as well. My prediction for the game, Raheem Sterling to score the first goal, Harry Kane to score the second goal, England to go through 2-0. I'm hoping this one's going to be a bit calmer than last time. I'm not sure I can take it. If you want to check out my reaction, then and all my kind of thoughts on the World Cup, then you need to hit that subscribe button. As I said, I've had a good couple of days of the England stuff, and I really appreciate it, guys. I really do. So much more to come from me, so hit that subscribe button, hit the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think I'm right about Sterling? Do you think I'm right about the changes that I would make to this team? And is football coming home? If it is coming home, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you on the other side, guys. Come on, England.